Congratulations! You have come a very long way so far. That's great to see you here. It means that you're serious about your goals and that you're getting ready to apply for the Studienkollegs of choice. Now, let's talk about Studienkollegs of choice. Which Studienkollegs do you want to apply to and why? Some of you might have a reason for applying for a certain Studienkolleg. For example, you have family members, beloved ones, a reason to go to a certain city or place, right? And some of you are open to whole Germany. You're like, doesn't matter, as soon as possible, going into any Studienkolleg, learning the things, taking the final exam so that I can start my university studies. When we talk about public Studienkollegs, quality is very good in all of them. So you don't need to worry about like which one has a better quality. All of them prepare you for their own FSP, Feststellungsprüfung, final exam. And the FSP, the grade that you get there is decisive about how competitive you are after that to apply for being very popular Studienkollegs, right? Especially if you want to study something like medicine or law, jura, or things like that. Nevertheless, beware that there are 26 public Studienkollegs in whole Germany. So it's not in every city. In almost every city, we have a university in Germany. I mean, not the tiny cities, right? But in rather middle-sized cities and bigger cities, we have universities. But we don't have a Studienkolleg everywhere. We don't have a Studienkolleg in Düsseldorf. We don't have a Studienkolleg in Köln. Not a public one. So you need to understand the map of Germany and where these Studienkollegs are. In the resources section of this lecture, you find an overview. It has a table and a map. On the map, you see the numbers where the Studienkollegs are, which is listed in a table. So you can see a Studienkolleg number 15. He's here at this spot of the map and all this stuff, and what it requires and which Studienkolleg it is. What courses it offers is also listed in the table. What is the German requirement for applying for that Studienkolleg? And when are the application deadlines? All important matters. For example, you say, I want to go to FU Berlin, and then you check the table and you're like, oh my God, FU Berlin does not have summer semester acceptance. It's only winter semester application possible there, right? So you need to play with this document very often. Very often. This is your compass. You need to use this document very often to understand how to move around things, how to plan your applications. You want to have many Studienkollegs actually in your portfolio to apply for several of them so that you get accepted to hopefully all of them. Hopefully, it can be that sometimes some application documents are not perfect for one of them or two, right? So you always need to count those risks, so to speak. And then you need to attend the entrance exams of many of them. When you get accepted into one entrance exam, you usually don't have time to go to the other ones because they very quickly give you the results and very quickly they want your yes or no. So you don't have much of a waiting time to wait for another 3 weeks, let's say, to go and sit and attend another entry exam at another Studienkolleg. So it's usually first come, first serve, and the first one you get accepted, you usually go in there and you finish the whole story of Studienkolleg. That said, plan it wisely. Work with the attached document wisely. We have also put certain pages in the document that is in the resources that is dedicated to each course. For example, you have one table for T course, one table for M course, so that you know exactly, okay, these are all my public Studienkolleg choices for M course that I have, right? In that sense, you know all the lists. You can locate them around Germany where they are if location is important for you. And then you should basically, based on your current level of German, when you finish high school, when is your timeline of coming to Germany, your visa appointment, all these we have talked about, right? Based on these, you should arrange your time and your applications. There sometimes in the future you look back and you're like, oh, I wish I had applied for this, or oh, look at this, I applied for these 2 Studienkollegs and their entry date is on the same day and I have admission from both. Such a shame, such a waste. Can happen. You cannot perfectly optimize this whole thing. Most importantly, Hauptsache, as Germans say, you have a couple of invitation letters for the entry test. Enjoy the file in the attachment, ask your questions in the Q&A, and think wisely and with farsightedness. Catch you in the next lecture.